The personal independence payments due to start on Monday for people receiving disability living allowance. Well, Sue Marsh has been a sufferer of severe Crohn's disease for nearly 3 decades, and she campaigns to raise awareness of hidden disabilities and long-term illness. And she's with me in the studio. Sue, very good afternoon to you. First of all, what do you make of the personal independence payments anyway?
It was in neither manifesto, so it came as a shock to begin with. We all, I think, knew that DLA needed reforming, but when this came in, immediately it was announced with a 20% cut. So obviously that caused people to be very frightened. When we looked at the details, to find out what was really going to happen, actually the government didn't know what was going to happen, and we were very worried as it went through Parliament that they had no real detail, and now I think that's starting to show.
OK, so new claimants from April have been already in the system. How's that working?
Well, I mean, anecdotally, obviously, is all I can say, but I've had stories already. Somebody contacted me yesterday to say they applied in May, they still haven't heard back. So that's 5 months already, and that's right at the beginning. So, when you...
And what's happening now, this delay that's going to take place to get it right, so they say? Now, you'd want it to be right.
Of course. I mean, we welcome that. And actually, when the bill was going through the Lords, we actually called for a pause. We asked them to take it very slowly and then review what happened. So, in a sense, it's great that that's what's happened, and then they are reviewing it's going to go slower. Of course, people are really uncertain, though, now. They don't know. I heard someone yesterday said she'd explained to her autistic child, who was just about to be 16, that she would need to be assessed and what assessment meant. Now, of course, they don't know what's going to happen, and I think uncertainty is the big problem.
What does assessment mean?
Assessment means, obviously, that the government want to see more people face-to-face, they say, although actually in practice we're not sure that even that's going to happen. They were very concerned about people being on indefinite awards, but to get that indefinite award you have to send in a form with medical evidence that leaves the decision maker in no doubt that you qualify for that benefit. So those indefinite awards would be people with cerebral palsy, kidney failure, heart disease. They had significant conditions, so there is a question to be asked about whether assessing those people endlessly is a good use of taxpayers' money anyway.
And what about tell me about yourself, for instance.
I mean, I've got Crohn's disease very, very severely. When it comes to a working benefit, I would qualify on the fact that I have to be fed intravenously quite often. I have a lot of surgery. What the government have done with this new criteria, they've actually slashed the amount of distance you can walk to qualify. So from 50 metres to 20 metres, that's a 60% reduction. It means that 500,000 nearly people with the most severe mobility aren't going to qualify anymore. And that would probably be me. Obviously, today I can walk a few steps with a stick. Other days I'm in a wheelchair, and that kind of fluctuating situation is very difficult anyway in these assessments. They're often not treated very well. For my case, what we did manage to do, campaigners, was make sure that the government included what's called reliably, repeatedly, safely and in a timely fashion. So if somebody can walk the 20 metres but perhaps couldn't repeat it within a few minutes or half an hour, they will now be covered. But it does leave things incredibly difficult to define, and it frightens people that they know that 500,000 are going to miss out, so they don't really know if that's going to be them.
Sue Marsh, thank you.